You've been doing the podcast since 2009, is that it?
You really were kind of like one of the first guys in, were you not? There wasn't much happening in this world.
One of them.
Yeah.
No.
But the interesting thing, because I watch you and I kind of know you a bit and I listened to you for years, I don't think you do stuff to go, how many downloads am I going to get on this? You don't live your life that way, I'm guessing, yes?
No, I don't really have expectations before I enter whatever endeavor I've gotten involved with. I just base it on, do you want to do it or do you not want to do it? And is it what you do? And would you do it for free? It's kind of one of the yardsticks to kind of measure, should you be doing it? Would you be doing it anyway? And if the answer is yes, then I just move forward. But the entire field of comedy for me was always that. I just wanted to get off a construction site and into a building with a microphone and do something.
Right.
And that was about it. I never really thought about compensation or legacy or name recognition. I just wanted to leave this one place, go someplace else, and do something else.
But
I'm sorry, was that characteristic sort of always who you were, even as a kid, or was it something that a sort of a change of life moment?
Well, when I was a kid, I was kind of along for the ride because my family was pretty broken and they didn't have any money. And I was just sort of a recipient of my environment. You know, we didn't have money. I couldn't travel. I couldn't try extracurricular things. I just sort of hung out because that's what you do when you're 13. And you just sort of hang out. And then when I got out of high school, I didn't go to college. I knew I had to work. I needed money. I needed to support myself. So I just sort of took whatever job was open, and that was construction labor. And I did that for a number of years. And once I sort of got out of survival mode, because survival, it's hard, you know, when you get pushed off the back of a cruise ship, the only mode you're in is survival mode. You're not in, I'm thinking about starting a tech company. You know, you're thinking about finding land. You know what I mean? And so I was in find land mode from, you know, age 3 to age 23. But once at age 23, I'd found, you know, some land. I had a job. I drove a truck. You know, I could keep the lights on in my apartment with 3 roommates. Then once I got survival, that part down, I started thinking, now what would thrive mode look like? What would it look like to have a life where you just didn't exist, but you actually did things and had experiences and met people that were interesting? What would that life look like? And that's when I sort of embarked on the second chapter.
And that's but you went growlings. You started doing improv. You started to find, and the amazing thing about your career too, is that you were calling KROQ as a fan, as a listener. That's how you were discovered, which is pretty insane way to go, right? What are the chances that you do it? And then you train Jimmy to box. I mean, out of nowhere, you said, I'll volunteer to train Jimmy to box somebody. And from that, you got a career. Yeah.
Yeah. I train, I was working as a boxing trainer, so it, you know, wasn't completely out of left field, but I wasn't calling in to train Jimmy to box. I was calling in to train Jimmy or the guy or his opponent.
Oh, anybody.
I didn't know either one of them.
No favoritism.
No, and Jimmy wasn't Jimmy. I didn't know who he was.
But
so
you were smart. Did you maneuver
lucky.
it though? But once you got in, was it a plan? Did you see openings and say, I'm going to do that? Now I'm going to do that. Was it all kind of every shot I saw, I was activated and really went for it? Or was it really luck?
Well, I got in intentionally to see the radio station and to I just physically wanted to see the inside of the radio station and know how it worked to do radio, because I was interested in radio. And once I met Jimmy, and Jimmy made it clear that he thought I had some ability, and that maybe there's something I could do, then my next mode was, how can I convince Jimmy to let me do something on this morning radio show, Kevin and Bean?